Hey movie fans! Today I am joined once again by a special guest. This time I do not have Matt with me. Today I have...
Cody!
Hi!
Hi.
He's new to the show. Wanted to give him a crack at this. He seems to know the topic well, and we're going to discuss it today. What is the topic? Well, with the resurgence of superhero films, we are in the midst of 10 a year at the rate we're going. I really want to take a look at something that hits home for both of us, and that is, why do we love superhero movies, or actually, why do we love heroes in general? Now, hero stories have been around since the time that stories were told. You had Greek mythology and such like that. Why do we seem to care about heroes to begin with? Cody, why do you think we care so much about heroes?
The reason we care about heroes so much is that they give us hope. They fulfill a wish that maybe we can't fulfill in our own lives, but we can make these stories and create these characters that give us hope.
I'd say that we see ourselves in these stories, and that's how it gives us hope, is these characters, whether it be like a Superman or a Batman, or even non-superhero characters like an Indiana Jones, a Captain Kirk, a Marty McFly, all those characters we see in situations not completely similar to our own lives, but close enough that we could see ourselves in those movies. That's why when I go into a movie, the two most important things for me are the good hero and the good villain, because the villain will help make the hero better, and he goes through the same struggles that we do, and we like to see someone overcome the same struggles that we do, and it gives us more hope going forward.
And one thing about superheroes is that, and this is one thing we always like to visualize for ourselves, is that a superhero is someone who will never stop in the face of opposition. And that gives us someone to look up to and someone to model ourselves after. And it reminds us in life that no matter how hard it gets, or your girlfriend just dumped you, you have a hard school assignment coming up, no matter what obstacles you face, you can overcome any of them. And sometimes it just takes somebody watching someone overcome obstacles that you face to get you through those.
And they don't have to be superheroes. Superheroes remind us, they bring us back to the core of who the real heroes are. Now, before the show, Cody and I discussed, it's not just superheroes. The real heroes of the world are the ones that are real, that put their lives on the line and do the jobs no one else really wants to. And superheroes remind us about those heroes, because when we look for the heroic qualities that we see in comics or in movies, we see them exemplified in these people and these characteristics.
Oftentimes the qualities that Nate's talking about, the qualities that you see in comic books, the never stop attitude, the always cheerful disposition, it can be found in comic books, but oftentimes those qualities can be found in the people around you. Sometimes a child's hero can be their father, their mother. And oftentimes you have to look for the real-life superheroes, the people like paramedics, firefighters, policemen, people who do the jobs that nobody else wants to do, simply because they have a love for the job and helping people.
Them looking up to something, it helps us. Like, I know for me personally, I grew my love of just heroes in general, or film or comics, from both my parents. My dad was a big comic book reader. He read a lot of Spider-Man and a lot of Iron Fist. Yay, Iron Fist. You will get love someday. I swear you will. You're getting that TV show. I will be watching that the first day it comes out on Netflix. But he read all these comics, and he would watch the shows with me. And my mom was very much a movie person. We would watch movies all the time, and that really instilled in me heroic qualities that should be exemplified in everyday life. Whether, now you're not going to be running from boulders or driving a starship wherever, but you're going to have the same qualities of being a good person, even to the smallest person, or patience, or just being an all-around good, kind person, because that's what a hero does. It teaches you what a real hero is, and I think that's really passed down through the years. Like we talked about at the beginning, it's all the way back from Greek mythology. You have these heroes to idolize. I think we have better morality code than some of the people in the Greek mythology. It's passed down from generation to generation, and heroes more are an example of good values more than it is good stories. But the message is what should be the driving force behind any hero, and that is that we are the hero.
And oftentimes, like Nate stated before, one of the big things that got him into superheroes was his father's love for comic books, and for me it was a little different. I got into superheroes with the superficial characters in Disney movies. That's what got me started first. And from there, as I grew into a prospering teenage boy, I became more acquainted with superheroes from the Marvel and DC universe. Now, looking back on it, it almost seems kind of silly to think of Disney characters as heroes, but
they're the original heroes from a movie standpoint. I would make the case for a lot of kids, because if you're not a comic character, if you're not a comic kid, then you're probably a Disney kid, and they're both have the same morality code.
Why do you love superheroes?
I think for me, it is that sense of nostalgia, and comic books as a whole, like, brings you back to better memories, like watching Spider-Man with my dad, or every day at 4:30 after school. I remember Batman the Animated Series being on, and I could still hear the music and the opening theme of the Batmobile starting up and chasing after the two faceless criminals, or just watching Cartoon Network just to watch Batman Animated Series. And it just brings you back to either your childhood or some other time that you really enjoyed comic books, and that love still stays with people. Or even just in a broader sense, not just superheroes, but heroes in general. Everyone wanted to grow up thinking that they're going to have force powers, or they're going to wake up one day and realize that they're the chosen one, and they're going to get their acceptance letter to Hogwarts. We all want to be the hero of some story in some sense or another. We are heroes in a sense of, we have the choice every day to do something good and do something small. There's plenty of heroes in real life that we can look up to and strive to be, and be that for the next generation. And I think that's why heroes have had such lasting staying power, is that they serve to be a reminder to people that this is what you could be for other people.
Watching superheroes growing up has really, like, enlightened me to the fact that, like what Nate was saying, is that it doesn't take being able to move things with your mind, or being able to pick someone up and throw them across the room. You can have the high-quality moral code that superheroes have, and if you stick with a moral code like that, it'll lead you through some of the best days of your life, allowing you to be the superheroes for your kids, your cousins, anybody in your family, even to the average person walking down the street. You could be their superhero just because of the way you learn to live from watching superheroes growing up.
The best example of a hero that I can think of is Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. That speech that he gives at the end of Two Towers, of a real hero knows the story. He lives in that darkness, but he knows that at the end of all things, there will be goodness. And that's the theme that really resonates with just about anyone, because we've all been in that darkness at some point or another. And we know at the end, there ultimately will be light if we just keep going with it. So, what do you guys think? Why do you guys like heroes? Superheroes or just regular heroes? What were some of your favorite heroes growing up? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know what future videos you'd like to see me do at some point. If you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook at facebook.com/movieguy17, or on Twitter at nmovieguy17. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals.